Welcome back to the Business Spotlight. I'm here with Judy Hoberman. She is an author, a speaker, a coach, and a radio show host. She is affecting the nation in a way that is what I call a decoder ring for us guys to speak to women and women to speak to guys.
And women to speak to women.
Yes.
I mean, let's not forget that, because everybody assumes because you're female you can speak to other women. That's not true. It isn't true. There's women at all different levels, and a lot of times, somebody that has a very high, powerful position doesn't know how to speak to the women that she is supposed to be mentoring. And the same way the other way, you're more intimidated by somebody that might have that position. So, there's all different ways of communicating.
So you do keynotes, and you work with specific clients is what I want to say. So tell me about that. How does that work for you?
My true passion is really one-on-one. I love that. And the reason I love it so much is because you get to see the light bulb. You get to see when someone gets it. And you really can hone in when they're going like, I don't get that. But the easiest way to get your message out there is one-to-many. And so I do a lot of speaking. And again, I try to hone in on certain people. They talk about walking with intention and creating all this kind of stuff. But truly what I try to do is I try to find somebody in the first row or two and talk directly to them, and then find someone over here and do the same thing, because even though I'm talking one-to-many, I'm also talking one-to-one. Mm-hmm. So that's the speaking, and it's wonderful. And there's just so many different opportunities. And of course, people ask me to talk about bizarre things that really aren't in my my qualifications, and then I just say, that's not me, and I recommend someone else, because they love when I speak, because I'm funny.
Right.
I'm funny.
You're hilarious.
I know that. But really, I love to do the coaching part of it, because you get to talk to women at different levels. Like, I talk to women that are just starting out, and I talk to women that are rock stars, and I talk to women that are trying to get to that next level. And how do they do that? Because it's not always about sales, although that is the byproduct, and anything that you do to create, more awareness of yourself, the bottom line changes.
Right.
So the coaching is probably one of my favorite things.
Well, one of the things that you're a master at is persuasion, and that is selling to me. But for a lot of people, they think they have images of sales, and I go, no, just realize selling is about persuasion. You become a master at persuasion, you become far greater negotiator. You become far more effective in managing people. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, persuasion is good. I like to call it invitation.
Okay.
Okay, I'm inviting you to do work with me. I'm inviting you to, expand your brand. I'm inviting you to be more successful. And when you invite somebody to do it, the persuasion comes in, but it's a different mindset. If I tell you that I'm going to sell you a coaching program, you already have your guard up. I'm not buying anything. But if we have a conversation and I talk about, I'm inviting you to do this for your life today, as opposed to waiting till next year and the year after, it's very different.
You're totally right, because one feels like, in a sense, a form of manipulation.
Absolutely.
And you're saying authentic is all that counts. Mm-hmm. So it becomes the relationship and building that relationship to a level where you can have influence.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Because people want to be, you have to have that respect both ways, but you also have to have the know, like, trust. And when people trust you, they're going to open themselves up to more opportunities to work with you. And a lot of people say, well, I don't like to sell to people. I don't want to sell. But the point of the matter is, if you have something that's important and something that's valuable, when you don't offer it and invite, you're doing someone a disservice. Mm-hmm. I have a client, and she was leery about sales. She really was. And what she did was she decided to tweak what she was saying. So we went through this whole thing, and all she did was invite somebody for a strategy session. Her closing ratio went from 20% to 80% by just tweaking a few words, because she was too close to it. I was totally objective, and I kept saying to her, but you're not really even asking, and when you are asking, it's kind of like manipulative. So it changed, and it changed for the better, obviously.
Well, absolutely, and I mean, one of the things that I see in kind of the way that you work is that you probably have clients still today that you started with years ago. Mm-hmm. And I think it goes back to the relationship is what matters. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Absolutely. It's all about relationships. Think about the time when, for me, I was selling insurance. I mean, how much fun is that? It really isn't. It's a necessity. Everybody needs it, but it's not fun. And so I have clients from when I sold insurance back in the 90s that are still on the books. Why? Because when they called me, I wasn't afraid to pick up the phone and say, how can I help you? How can I serve you? Where a lot of other people would say, if they're calling me, there's a problem. But I took time to build relationships. And so it was much different. It was much different, and it is different.
I totally agree. One of the things that we want to make sure that people do know about is you have a special offer, I guess, on your website.
I do. And it's actually, it's an ebook, and it really is all about strategies and case studies, and it's called Skirting the Issues, obviously. And it's a free download for you, and I'll tell you the story about this at another point, but it's really just sellinginaskirt.com/special-offer. It's on the screen. And it's a great book. It really is. And it's got some really good strategies on it. And that's why I said, I like to do things that give you something to do today.
That is so good. I hope that you guys will go to get the, this little ebook. You can print it up, and it's just skirting the issues. So when we get back from the break, we're going to go deeper into really who's the ideal client that Judy works with. This is the Business Spotlight. Judy Hoberman is my guest, and we're having a great time. We'll be right back.